comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I haven't talked about it yet because I have just been trying to get over the anger, the hurt, the despair. I'm still trying to process it, but this Jaylen Brown trade from the Boston Celtics to the Philadelphia 76ers hurts. I cannot understand what the fuck they were thinking. Besides, this guy is a little bit fucking lippy and we don't like our players getting out of fucking hand. That's about it. Because the cunt put the entire Boston Celtics team on his shoulders last season and carried them the whole way to second place. And then when Tatum came back, he was a fucking liability, and he's gonna be a liability because he fucking snapped his Achilles tendon. And then they traded the only player the Celtics have. I talked about it all season. It's a bunch of retards and Jaylen Brown. And Brown managed to drag them along until Game 7, where he just couldn't do it anymore. He needed help in Game 7, and there was no one to help. White shot fucking like 25% for the series, and they're saying that guy is the number one at the Celtics. Are they out of their minds? So they traded a Bostonian through and through. He's the heart and soul of this city. Jaylen Brown, they traded him for Paul George. Like someone said in a comment section somewhere that I was reading, some fucking Jaylen Brown despair porn, Bill Simmons or Cowherd or some shit like that. They're like, you traded Jaylen Brown for a 36-year-old podcaster that plays a little bit of basketball. And I was like, hey, there's nothing wrong with podcasters. Let's not fucking throw mud. But that's what he is. He's an indifferent, I don't give a fuck, often injured fucking cunt. Jaylen Brown is a finals MVP. He's already won a ring for the Celtics. And now he's going to be playing for Philadelphia. And I've always liked Philadelphia anyway, because of the Australian connection. Ben Simmons was there. They had a coach who used to fucking coach the Australian basketball team, Brown. And I used to be a big fan of Embiid. I like Maxey. I like Edgecombe. I like them all, to be honest with you. So I am fucking right on Philly's balls. I don't like this at all. I don't like that I'm going to have to fucking go to games next year with a gun to my head to watch Paul George get injured and Jason Tatum have no tenacity whatsoever. The two most blasé fucking number ones and twos I've ever seen in my entire life are now paired together. Paul George is not a winner either, and neither is Jason Tatum without Brown. Brown's a winner. He's willing to do the dirty work. Philly will win now. You've got Embiid, you've got Jaylen Brown, you've got Tyrese Maxey, and you've got Edgecombe. How the fuck are you going to stop them? How? Tell me how you're going to stop them. Embiid doesn't even need to be fucking healthy for half the year. Just bring him back for finals. Maxey, Edgecombe, and Brown can fucking drag that team to the finals. Then bring in Embiid like they did against the Celtics, and you've got a fucking hell of a team. You bring Brown in, and Brown's like that fucking Jimmy Butler type character. When Jimmy Butler played for the 76ers, and they made a run one year, and I think it was Toronto. I think it was Kawhi Leonard scored that fucking three in the corner that bounced up and just sunk them. That was the closest they ever came with that fucking almost super team when Jimmy Butler was in the team. Well, Jaylen Brown is like a young Jimmy Butler. He plays both ends of the floor. He can fucking fight. He's tough. He's big. He doesn't have to run the point because he got Maxey who can get to the rim. I'm more excited about Philadelphia now than I am about the Celtics. And they're trying to say statistically, Jaylen Brown, when he was off the floor, the Celtics were better. Can you shut the fuck up, please? Without Jaylen Brown, the fucking Celtics were the mighty Ducks before they got fucking Banks. You had Walsh with no eyebrows. You got Preston Pritchard, who I love, but he is like my physique. You got the Shermanator. You've got White, who also seems a little bit retarded. You've got Cater, who's like a fucking Rastafarian smoking joints on the beach. It doesn't make sense. What the fuck is Paul George going to do? Tatum is over. Forget about it. He was never as good as Brown anyway. Brown was the number one. Tatum got all the kudos because, I don't know, he was easier to market. And yes, Brown is kind of annoying sometimes, but he's also super intelligent and he's a dog. I don't know if I'm using that word right. I'm not using it in the Australian way. You're a fucking dog cunt. I'm using it in the American way, like he's a fucking dog. Actually, I just said that the Australian way again. He's a dog. No, I can't actually say dog without it sounding fucking bad. He's a dog. Dog. He's a dog. He gets in there and he fucking does it. He gets his hands dirty. That's what I'm trying to say. Not like a fucking dog, like a dog. It really fucking hurt me. It took me 3 days to process it. I'm like, why? All of Boston, everyone's talking about it. You bump into anyone and they're trying to fucking work out why it happened. Some dudes at the bar yesterday were like, oh, they didn't want to pay him. I'm like, it's the same. They pretty much just swapped out contracts. That doesn't make sense. He's younger. He's in his prime still. Paul George is in his prime as well, but podcasting. He's in the prime of his podcast career. Which is more than I can say about most people. Anyway, devastating news. Look, I'll still go to the corporate box. I'll still go to the games. I'll still eat the chicken in the corporate box and some popcorn and a little bit of sparkling water. But it's not going to be like it was last year or this year. There's going to be a piece missing. And if Philly come to town, I'm going to that game and I'm cheering for Philadelphia in the box. Just as a protest. Unless Boston are looking good with Paul George, which I don't see that happening, and we are ready to go on a run. Look, I'm still a Boston fan, but Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous. Anyway, I need to stop talking about it. That'll do for tonight. Happy 4th of July. I'm heading out to the fireworks tonight. So I'll report back and that'll do. See you the fuck later.